Have you been wearing your ego like a 1980s hairstyle? Little ashamed, little out of touch, and just don't quite know how to fix it?
Is this how you've been made to feel about your ego? Like narcissists, bullying, yelling, kind of being a little cocky, thinking you're a little bit better than everyone else? Have you been told that you need to get out of ego in order to live a better life? Or the moments when you're feeling off and cranky, you blame your ego and saying, oh, sorry, I'm a little too into ego. I gotta get out of ego. It is actually not your ego's fault.
Truth ball time.
Seriously, don't blame your ego for your crappy behavior because you can't use your ego as your scapegoat. When we work with our ego properly and in harmony, it allows us to be more authentic with ourselves and for our manifestations to happen.
Manifesting is a team effort between you, your ego, and your higher self. And this is our balanced approach system to manifesting. It helps us make aligned decisions, feel safer, more secure, and least likely to sabotage ourselves in our manifestations.
When you fight and ignore your ego, this causes disharmony and stress, and then it also just lowers your vibration. So then you are not a match to the manifestation that you want. So denying your ego is denying a part of us, yourself. And this can lead to unexpressed emotions that can go into trauma and blocks in the body.
Over the years, we've watched so many women who just struggle to banish that ego and lock it in a closet like a dirty secret, when really it is a part of us and it needs to be expressed and heard. My heart goes out to women everywhere who just feel like they can't be the whole part of themselves in order to be positive and are a mindset where they think they have to be that way in order to manifest. And honestly, when we do that, we step away from authenticity, who we really are, and it just kind of breaks my heart a little. You don't have to be that. Be who you are, and that is with your ego.
We were born with our ego. It is our protector. It serves us well. It just needs some space in order to be heard. It needs rules and it needs boundaries in order for us to work with our ego. It's not the bad guy that everyone says it to be, and that we need to have ego death in order to live a positive, healthy lifestyle. Your ego needs to match your higher self side, so there is balance and harmony within you. If you recall from our self-awareness video, we always said our manifestations start here at our heart center at soul level, and then it branches out with your higher self and your ego, and that is when we have to work together in harmony. Since our ego is our protector, it keeps us safe. It's all about surviving and thriving. Our higher self is less concerned with our earthly needs, and it's more focused about giving and emotional and spiritual growth. So that's why with our ego and higher self, it has to have balance. It's like a scale. If one is tipping too much on the other side, we are going to be out of balance. Our thoughts and emotions and feelings will even be a little bit out of balance. So that's why we're trying to have this beautiful harmony. So we are open to receive our manifestations, which then helps us keep us on track, helps us encourage us to move towards our manifestations and working with and co-creating with spirit in order to receive our manifestations.
So before we get into some tips about how to talk to your ego and how your ego can lead to toxic positivity, give us some comments. Let's hear your ego stories. Share with us your biggest ego stories, maybe some of the things you thought about the ego that you're learning today just wasn't true. We would love to hear them. One of the things to be aware of when you're in your ego and extreme ego is that it can present itself in the form of toxic positivity. The ego, it will dismiss your feelings. It will dismiss the people around you's feelings. So when you're in your higher self does not dismiss or invalidate your feelings or the feelings of those around you. So that's a pretty good indication for yourself. You know, Randy's got a really good story about that she's going to share right away. You know, but your ego can make it feel like, okay, that's okay. You don't need to feel like that. Just shake it off. You know, like that is a very ego toxic positivity that we really want people to be aware of, because in today's society, everybody has to be positive, or so they think, in order to manifest. And we know that that just is not true. I mean, we kind of went over that and are debunking the myths. If you've missed that video, go back and watch.
This is when I was working in healthcare, and I wanted to get out of healthcare. It wasn't a fit for me anymore. And I wanted to explore other options because I wasn't sure what I should do. And so when I was starting to explore, and I wasn't like having that balance with my ego was starting to, like, the scale was tipping quite a bit here. In my head, my ego is like, you know what? This is not that bad. This is a secure job. It pays well. And then after the end of the day, it's like, today was okay. You know, the time didn't go slow. You got to help one person. Like, it would really keep me in where I was, because it does like comfort zone too, because then it knows that we are safe and secure. So that is an example of when my ego was off the tips of the balance. But then the other side, when I didn't have balance with both, and my higher self scale was tipping. This is how my higher self sounded during that time. It's okay. Oh my goodness, you can work full time in healthcare and pick up another job and try to explore things. It's okay. You have lots of energy. You know what? You will be fine. You will be safe. Everything works out. It's okay. So that's kind of like the balance. That's why you want to have a nice balance, so that you do make decisions for yourself that feels good, and it's not going to deplete you or make you stuck in a certain way.
Oh my gosh, how many women listening to this have felt the exact same way that Randy just described? I mean, like, really drop in the comments, because that shit is real. And as women, we've all done it to ourselves.
Yeah, oh my goodness, please like and subscribe to this channel if you have definitely had that kind of conversation in your head. Have you ever heard of like that 7 minutes in a woman's head?
No.
Oh my God. And it plays over and over. Like, one thought triggers this thought, one thought goes to it's the same thing. But this is with their ego and higher self. So I thought I would share that with you to give you an example. So maybe you can place a time and place, put a time and place that resonates with you. And like, you're like, oh crap, I've done that too. Oh, I've done that. Yeah.
We're women, we do it all.
Yeah. So now I want to give you some tips on how to practice talking to your ego on a daily basis. So for you guys, tip number 1 is grounded, being grounded every single day. The reason why we want to do that is because it helps you just like stay calm. It helps you create a space where you can have open communication with your ego, yourself, and higher self. And this also like keeps just for you to be aligned in having those good conversations. So we have a beautiful free grounding meditation for you in the description called Manifestation Blueprint. Just click that and it'll come right into your inbox.
So tip number 2, ask the ego. Talk to it every single day. Journal the answers. Ask it what it thinks. Ask it what it wants. Ask it what it needs from you today. Ask it how it's feeling. Check in like you would, you know, a friend, a spouse, parent. Talk to it. Give it a name. You know, make that communication open. The ego just really, it needs to be heard. It wants to be heard. Lastly, the ego likes praise. So celebrate your wins with your ego. You know, at the end of the day, before you close your eyes, evaluate your day. List 3 positives, 3 things that your wins that happened that day that made you feel good. Share them with your ego. When your ego feels that it has some wins, some success, some recognition, it is more likely to jump on board for new manifestations, new changes, things you want to do in your life. It makes it feel more safe, secure, and you are least likely to be sabotaged by your ego or have your ego sabotage you.
Sabotage your manifestations even. If you want to learn about how there are ways that you can self-sabotage your manifestations, please check out our next video.
See you there.